assume you must go to OCC based on your reaction.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, a little bit.
A couple times, like, I was watching the game, I was like, crap, the camera.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Providence Young Gymnasium on the campus of Missouri Southern State University for the 34th Annual Association of Christian College Athletics 2016 National Basketball Championship. At this time, the Joplin Sports Authority, in cooperation with Ozark Christian College, would like to thank tournament sponsors, volunteers, workers, officials, the players, coaches, and fans for your support of ACCA athletics. The Joplin Sports Authority would like to thank the ACCA and Ozark Christian College for the opportunity to host this event. And now, your starting lineups first for the visiting team on the scoreboard, Providence University College. A 5'5" junior guard from Morris, Manitoba, number 3, Lauren Mew. A 5'6" sophomore guard from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 4, Rebecca Jones. A 5'9" sophomore guard from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 10, Amber Harms. A 5'8" sophomore guard from LaSalle, Manitoba, number 12, Courtney Mingo. And a 6'1" senior center from Winnipeg, Manitoba, number 13, Renata Naiha. The head coach for the Violets is Joel Corsi, assisted by Colton Grava. And now, the starting lineups for the visitor home team on the scoreboard, Welch College. A 5'7" junior guard from Ada, Oklahoma, number 1, Ashton Johnson. A 5'7" sophomore guard from Ida, Illinois, number 12, Claire Ryan. A 6'1" senior center from Old Henry, Tennessee, number 14, Leslie Nichols. A 5'8" junior guard from Wilmington, Kansas, number 20, Elizabeth Palmer. And a 5'6" senior guard from Mount Juliet, Tennessee, number 34, Jesse Miller. The head coach of the Flames, Kenny Bryan, assisted for by Larry Bryan. Your officials for this evening's game as assigned by the Southwest Missouri Officials Association approved by the ACCA, Linda Drink, Stacy Miner, and Tara Malone.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the campus of Missouri Southern State University here in Joplin, Missouri. I'm Todd Panula, and I'm here to bring you all of this evening's exciting ACCA action as it's a women's matchup between Welch College and Providence University College. Let's tell you how the teams got here. Providence played way back on Wednesday and lost a tight one, 51-47 to Dallas. So they've been waiting ever since then to play again. Welch played last night, and I covered that game. They played the Rama, and they lost by the score of 64-49. So both of these teams trying to pick up their first win of the tournament. This is game number 7 on the consolation bracket. The winner will go on to play AFLBS tomorrow at noon. I will have the coverage of that one. The loser will go on to play Dallas Christian. I will have that one as well, and that one will be at 10:15 tomorrow. And again, the 5th place matchup will be at noon. But 40 minutes to play here before we figure out all that. Let's get that graphic off the screen. Apologize for that. Back up in the play as Welch comes up empty. And Providence did too on their first possession, so neither team had scored as we were about a minute in here, just a little shy. Thinking about taking the shot there was Phantom Jones. And that goes underneath the hands of Amber Harms. Let's give you the starters for both teams. We'll start off with the Providence University College Pilots. Is there from Otterburn, Manitoba. Lauren Weeb, Rebecca Phantom Jones, Amber Harms, Courtney Engel, and Renata Nyhoff. The offensive team putting up a 3 there was Jessie Melvin. She had a pretty good game last night, joined by Elizabeth Palmer, Leslie Nichols, Claire Ryan, and Ashton Johnson on the starting spot. Good passing around the perimeter, but the shot went wanting again from Fenton Jones. She shoots just a little under 30% from beyond the arc, so a pretty decent three-point shooter. But she's gone 0 for 2 here in the early going. Over into the corner, Johnson thought about putting up a shot, instead goes for the floater. Nichols can't grab the rebound. Second attempt, it goes through the wickets. Remember, use the hashtag that you see on your screen, ACCA Hoops. You can get involved in the conversation, and maybe we'll even read one of your tweets on air. Both of these teams struggling on the offensive side of the ball so far. Johnson driving baseline, dishes off to Nichols, just a little bit short. Melvin can't track it down. Finally comes loose to Palmer. She puts it on the floor in the lane, but then loses the handle. And then throwing her weight around, Nichols is going to get called for the foul after some wild elbows being thrown by Amber Harms. She's a little bit fortunate that she didn't catch anybody with that, because at least at the NCAA level, that's definitely something that they look for a lot more. Any contact with the elbow will go against the offending player. I would have to think that that would trickle down to this level as well. Still Ofer on the offensive end. Goose Eggs up on the board with 7:20 left in the first quarter. There Ryan to Johnson, and now Ryan gets it back, trying to go over the top to Nichols. They do so, and there's our first points of the game. Almost a full 3 minutes into the first quarter. So Welch gets on the board first. Providence trying to find an answer. Long shot. Would have been a 2. They get it anyway, but from a little bit closer. Renata Nyhoff, the senior out of Winnipeg, getting her first points of this one. Johnson with the little feint. Ryan was on the move. Melvin gave it down into the corner, and then it's turned over by Palmer. Fenton Jones brings it up. Going on a bit of a cycle, and the foul, I believe, is going to go on Melvin. 2 subs apiece. Joanne Schwartz and Allison Zajac coming in for the Pilots. We'll get you the subs for the Flames as warranted. Caitlin Braxton is one of them. Good move there from Harms. Puts it off the glass, but it won't go. And then the pocket was picked. Over to the wing. Harms. Again, trying to go to the basket. Put it off the back of the backboard, so that counts as out of bounds. Madison Walker is one of those players that checked in, gives it off to Alberti. So Braxton, Alberti, and Madison Walker, fresh faces in there for the Lady Flames. Into the paint, Madison Walker couldn't get it to go. Coming up across in the timeline is Fenton Jones. Not a ton of movement as they try to set up their half-court offense. Putting it on the floor is Harms, and she gets the harm. Rattles in and out for Harms. Taylor Goodbranson, the freshman out of Selkirk, Manitoba, comes into the game now for the Pilots. Bringing it up the court. Flames switch it. Ryan over the top to Alberti. Madison Walker with the three, and it won't go. Rebound for Braxton. .450 left to go in the quarter. The Lady Flames up by 1. Engel on the drive. Gives it off. Points on the board there for the Pilots. Harms able to get the bucket. 4:25 left to go in the first quarter. Cross-court pass. Madison Walker inside to Alberti. They'll try it from over on the far wing. Almost dribbled off the foot of Ryan. And now we get a foul on the floor. Foul is against Courtney Engel. Bit of confusion there as Madison Walker thought she was coming out, but she stays in. Esther Smith comes into the game. And that one is intercepted on the inbounds as Schwartz saw it coming. 1 point game in favor of the Pilots. It's been an offensive struggle for both of these teams here in the first quarter. We'll see if they loosen up a little bit. That one was altered as Goodbranson went up with it. Lady Flames with an opportunity to regain the lead. 20 to shoot. Won't matter now as we get a fresh shot clock off the hand of Smith. Good in-out passing there, and then well too strong by Schwartz. 3:25 left to go in the quarter. Far side pass, straightaway shot, and that one didn't have enough on it. So back and forth we go. Each team is getting pretty decent looks, really, as we get a long shot there, and that one won't fall for Goodbranson. Fenton Jones getting a rest on the bench. Traveling is the call against the Lady Flames. Nyhoff comes back into the game for the Pilots. Coach Corsi looking to get something going. Right now the Pilots are in the lead, but it's been a little bit lackluster by both teams. And a lot of whistles, a lot of discombobulation. A little bit understandable for Providence. As I mentioned before, they haven't played since Wednesday. Now, on the one hand, that you could argue, well, they get a little bit more practice time, assuming that they got some practice in yesterday. But more in the flow of the game is Welch, even though they haven't managed to turn that into any offensive points. Another turnover there for the Lady Flames, trying to steal it back. Johnson gets it off the face, I believe, of Goodbranson. She's a little bit shaken up, but as anybody is going to be when you take a basketball off the nose. Back into the game now is Palmer for the Lady Flames, as well as Nichols. Long shot from Johnson. Out of bounds off the Pilots again. 2:12 left to go in the quarter. Long inbounds finds Ryan. Back down low to Johnson. Muscles it in. 1 point lead with 2 minutes to go. In between quarters, we'll get you caught up on some of the scores that have been going on in the ACCA. As that one's left just a little bit short from long range. Johnson pushing the progress up the court. Baseline move in between the legs of Johnson, spinning away. Long shot, won't count. 3-second violation. So a lot of errors and mental mistakes in the early going, both sides. So score-wise, you still get an even game, but obviously the fans would like to see it a little bit smoother. Harms, Engel, has just the pocket picked. That was taken away from Weeb, taking it all the way, and that is no good from Claire Ryan. And timeout taken by the Pilots, as both of these teams searching for an answer on the offensive end. You got to give them some credit. It's been pretty good defense, some steals, good positioning. But when the shots have gone up, they have not necessarily been what anybody was wanting, in terms of end result anyway. Also going on right now, Emmaus, the Lady Eagles are playing the Arlington Baptist Patriots, and that's Patriots. They are not pastries. The tongue is getting a little bit tied as the night goes on. But that is in the regulation side of the bracket. The winner of that will go on to the championship game tomorrow at 4 and play Hillsdale for the ACCA championship. These two teams playing for an opportunity to get into that 5th place game against AFLBS. Harms driving towards the hoop, puts up a wild one. Last touched by Nyhoff. 39.8 left to go here in the first quarter. Johnson gets it back. Puts it on the floor, cross court for Ryan. She goes baseline. Pass was deflected, but still in the hands of the Lady Flames. 9 to shoot. To the right elbow, Nichols, yes. Gives them a 3-point lead. 8 seconds. Weeb driving it towards the paint, dishes it off. And I believe that she walked. So 3.7 up on the clock. And they're going to put in Colin Carter. Johnson from just inside half court. Had the line, but not the distance. So second quarter coming up. 3-point ball game, 8-5. Both of these teams hoping to have a little bit more offense coming up in the second frame. Both of them are capable of scoring, just a little bit cold off the get-go. Providence had 47 against Dallas in a losing effort. And Welch scored 59 in their opening foray into the tournament. Some of the other matchups, Hillsdale defeated Dallas yesterday, and then they defeated Rama to go to the championship game tomorrow. 84-66 was the final on that one. As I mentioned, Arlington and Emmaus playing right now. Emmaus defeated Ozark on Wednesday 65-55 to get into that semifinal matchup. And then it was Arlington ripping apart AFLBS 131-56 to get their spot in that semifinal matchup. And then earlier today, right here in the consolation bracket, Ozark defeated AFLBS defeated Ozark to get into that 5th place game. And that was actually yesterday. Dallas defeated Ozark 65-58 earlier today. So they will take part in the 7th place game coming up tomorrow morning. If we have time, we'll take a look at the men's side of the bracket, but right now let's just focus on this game. Second quarter action now as we are underway. 10 more minutes until we hit halftime. 3-point lead right now for the Lady Flames. Harms was trying to cut it down to 1. She's had a couple good drives, probably even more than that. I'd say a handful of good drives, but they just haven't been finished off. And then getting the friendly roll there is Carter. And if you're the Pilots, those are the kind of errors that you just can't have. You're already kind of behind it and struggling on the offensive end. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. Nichols from a bad angle hits the side, and then it's put back. Colin Carter coming in and scoring a couple quick baskets. Pilots trying to figure something out. They go baseline. That's Engel, and she couldn't get it up. Back the other way. Early in the shot clock here, a minute in, second quarter. Madison Walker dishes it off and then gets it back. Now to Nichols. Takes one little step and a power move to the basket, but couldn't finish. Dribble picked up and then handed off to Nyhoff. Long shot there, and that's off the mark from Fenton Jones. And that was Jesse Melvin, apparently needing to tighten up the sneakers. It's got him to her liking, and now we're back underway. 100 seconds into the second quarter. It's gone from an 8-5 game to 12-5 game. Long shot from Madison Walker will not go. Rebound for Carter. She has been absolutely everywhere since checking into the game. Draws the foul. Quick inbounds to Nichols. Carter again trying to get that rebound, and then it's stolen by Braxton. So the Lady Flames with another chance. Madison Walker getting instructions from the bench. They want to go inside to Braxton, and she is fouled. First foul of the game on Renita Nyhoff. She will come out, as will Lauren Wiebe. Back into the game is Joanne Schwartz, as well as Taylor Goodbranson. Allison Zajac also came back into the game. So the Pilots trying to find something going on the offensive end. Harms passing up the open chance, and then she will head to the line. Remember, hashtag ACCA Hoops if you want to get involved on Twitter. No good from Harms. Wholesale line change pretty much here for the Lady Flames. Johnson, Smith are the ones that I definitely saw. Look like Alberti. Ryan and Abby Walker also into the game. Abby Walker had that blocked as she went up for it. The putback is no good. Far sideline, angle to Zajac. Goodbranson puts it on the floor. Harms looking for some space. Down to the block, 7 to shoot. Zajac trying to find some room, and that's picked off. And then stolen right back. Harms. And it's popped back outside. Goodbranson tosses it away. Remains with the Pilots as that was last touched by the Lady Flames. Still a 7-point game. 6:30 left to go. First half, second quarter. Johnson got away with a little bit of a shove. Smith takes it into the corner, but the double team never came. Smith inside for 2. Won't go. It's a pretty good look at it from about 18 feet, but it just wouldn't fall. Goodbranson pops it back out. On the dribble is Harms, and she is harmed. Harms shoots 48.1% from the free throw line. Not the best of averages, but one of the better averages on the team. So she needs to convert. Colin Walker comes back. Second one is no good, so it's a 6-point game with 6 minutes left in the half. Almost picked off, but then Abby Walker couldn't quite pick up the grasp. Over the top, looking for Schwartz. He's kind of hemmed into that corner. Launching it towards the half line, and Goodbranson couldn't track it down. Elizabeth Palmer checks back into the game. Abby Walker will take a seat. Ryan pops it over. Long shot, no good from Palmer. In the corner, and a great play there. A great court awareness from Colleen Carter. Weeb, Fenton, Jones, and Engel back into the game for the Pilots, as they are searching for some sort of answer here on the offensive end. And Johnson, I think the officials didn't really know what to call there, and she attempted to go for the ball after throwing it in, and I didn't necessarily ever see her touch it, but since nobody touched it, I think they're just going to give the ball to the Pilots. Another turnover by Providence. Off to the races. Johnson going to take it all the way herself. Off the glass and in. Just a little over 5 minutes left to go in the quarter, in the half. Fenton Jones too tall for Nyhoff, who was unaware. Johnson Gonna take it herself again. She'll go to the line. First of the game on Rebecca Fenton Jones, the sophomore out of Winnipeg. First one good. This is Johnson, improving her 79.2 free throw percentage. Count them both. 10-point lead. Under 5 to go. Zajac pinned into the sideline, but then they let her out. Weeb looking for the three-pointer. Kind of a chest shot there. A little bit similar to, well, I can't remember the name now. It's one of the best players in the NBA, Steph Curry. I'm telling you, the brain is just not working right now. 20 to shoot, putting up a bit of a line drive shot there and getting away with it is Courtney Engel. Back down to 8. 4 1/4 left. The bank was not open on that shot. Lady Patriots with an opportunity to get this one a little bit closer and get themselves into double digits. Fenton Jones to Weeb and then gets it back. I think she wanted to go back again, but Weeb had kind of turned her head. Down low to Engel. Trapped along that baseline and the foul. And no, it's going to be Lady Flames' ball. So apparently it was a walk. Melvin brings it up. Braxton looking into the paint for Abby Walker. The pass was just a little too far in front. 3:18 left to go in the second quarter. Far side for Engel, and they swing it back around. Good fundamental passing. Harms, 9 to shoot. Trying to go inside again. Harms for Engel. She's got to put it up. And you could tell that that one was a forced shot that she wasn't very comfortable with. Trying to go inside once again to Abby Walker. She picks it up just before it hit the baseline, but then the pass outside goes out of bounds. Joanne Schwartz back into the game as the Pilots trying to keep their lineup fresh. Fenton Jones with a long inbounds pass. Zajac into the corner. Harms puts it on the floor and loses it off her leg. Harms the leading scorer for the Pilots, so they're definitely looking for her to get something going on the offensive end, but everybody has seen their wells run dry. 2:15 left to go here in the quarter. Little runner for Abby Walker won't go. And now we get a push. The foul is against Nichols. Full court pressure here. If Harms could have grabbed that cleanly, she would have had an easy lane to the basket. Schwartz swings it back around. Engel has it. Harms is calling for it on the low block. Moves along the baseline, but they still cannot find her. The zone defense is kind of taking her away. Now Engel again with a forced shot, and that one won't go. Schwartz keeps it alive and then grabs it. Intercepted pass on the cross-court effort. Here comes Madison Walker, and one. Back out to a 10-point lead for the Lady Flames, trying to make it 11. Braxton back into the game, the freshman out of Greenville, North Carolina. Free throw no good, remains a 10-point game with 90 seconds left in the half. Schwartz dishes it off around the perimeter. And the pass was deflected, but Madison Walker going to be called for the clear out. Good Branson will have the inbound, Harms, and one. Can't connect on the free throw, so it's an 8-point game. 70 seconds remaining in the half. Nichols out to Melvin. Walker with the three-pointer. It won't go for Madison Walker. And nobody touched it on the way out. Alberti back into the game. Nichols will get a rest before the halftime. Good Branson brings it up. Schwartz wants it over on the wing. Instead, it's with Harms. And once again, the pass is just not on the mark. Good defense, though, from Ashton Johnson. Getting in the path of that one and kind of forcing the error. Under a minute to go, 18-10. Closing in on halftime. In for Alberti. Johnson to the line. Esther Smith back into the game for the Lady Flames, as well as Renata Nyhoff for the Pilots. Count them both, and we're back to a 10-point game after two straight made free throws from Ashton Johnson. Trying to go inside to Zajac. She's looking for an outlet. Back into the corner, top of the key. Good Branson is blocked by Braxton. 19 seconds left in the half. Shot clock is off. Good way to break the press. Johnson going to the hoop. Braxton thought about the three. Now she's going to drive to the hoop. And the baseline official said it was a tie ball. Now they're going to discuss it because I think the one over on the far side got a foul. First one no good for Braxton. 7.4 left to go on the halftime clock. Pass was intercepted. 2 seconds left. The heave. Ultimately, it wasn't all that close, but from my vantage point, it looked like it had the line. It's just way off to the right. So we'll go into halftime with Welch Lady Flames leading the Providence Pilots by the score of 21-10. And welcome back to the campus of Missouri Southern State here in Joplin, Missouri. And we are underway in the second half between the Providence Lady Pilots and the Welch College Lady Flames. Not a good start for the Pilots, although it wasn't all that great of a first half in general. Neither of these two teams doing what they really wanted to do offensively. Welch ended up turning it on a little bit there in the second half, but apparently they divided up the points between here and Ozark, as there's a three-point shot good from the hand of Rebecca Fenton Jones. As I was saying, apparently they kind of divvied up the points between here and Ozark, and somehow Ozark ended up with all the points because 74-39 is the halftime score between Arlington Baptist and Emmaus. So the Patriots looking like they are going to face Hillsdale in the women's final come tomorrow. And that could very well be the men's final as well. So Chris will have the action on that one as Welch hits the free throw. And I don't envy him that, because when you get two teams that have the same nickname, that always makes it difficult. Although if you go with the nickname, you can never be wrong. It's Pilots everywhere. Patriots everywhere. It's been that kind of day for me, though. The Pilots bringing it across the timeline, down by 10 as both free throws were converted. Here comes Goodbranson to Zajac. Nichols going for the steal. Second chance wasn't there either. 8 to shoot. Harms picks up the dribble. Zajac just tosses one up, hits the side of the rim, and then Harms had it stripped away. Goodbranson almost came up with a steal. Cutting through the lane and then tossing it back. Melvin. Long shot. Won't fall for the Lady Flames. Zajac with the board. Weeb to Goodbranson. Harms puts it on the floor. Doesn't have any space. 3-2 zone going on right here. 8 to shoot again. Weeb looking for Harms, and she double dribbled. .7:39 left to go in the quarter. As I mentioned, the winner of this game will play AFLBS for 5th place tomorrow, and the loser will play for 7th place against Dallas. That 7th place game will be at 10:15 in the morning, and then at noon it'll be that 5th place game. Ball stays with the Lady Flames. Good passing, inside out, and 3 points on the board for Jessie Melvin. Three minutes played and another turnover. Up ahead for Johnson, off the glass, and one. So the Flames stoking their offensive fires just a little bit. And a three-point play the old-fashioned way. And another steal by Melvin. Might have gotten away with a kick ball as that hit off their instep. Johnson just a little bit too short there on the shot, not necessarily height-wise. Schwartz and Engel coming in. Nyhoff and Wiebe out. Johnson can't connect from 3. Rebound no good. Second opportunity. It's bouncing around in Nichols' hands, but she couldn't really get a good grasp on it. 6:32 left to go here in the third quarter. Trying to get that inbounds in, and they do. 2 points. Bit of a broken play there, but it was finished off by Elizabeth Palmer. Goodbranson kicks it out, gets it back, puts it back on the floor. Little push shot, and it goes in. It was rolling up around the rim for what seemed like forever, but it eventually fell through. Gravity took a hold. Little floater from Johnson won't go. Good solid board there from Harms. She seems a little bit annoyed by the pressure and did the same thing earlier in the game, kind of throwing those elbows out there, and you've got to be a little bit careful with that. Schwartz gets it down low, looking for Harms over her head. Engel with the jumper, that won't fall. 5:30 left to go in the quarter, and traveling on Johnson. More fresh bodies in as Welch keeping their lineup fresh. Alberti going for the steal, not coming up with it. 2 points good there for Providence. As the Pilots trying to chip away at this lead. They need to get some more good defense. They have the last couple times down. And a floater is good in off the fingertips of Madison Walker. Under 5 to go in the quarter. Engel finally gets it to settle down. She gets her own floater, no basket, offensive foul. Over to the near side, now cutting it in. Going to the line will be Palmer. Wiebe will come back into the game. I believe Abby Walker was going to come in, but most likely it'll be for the shooter because they sent her back out. No good on the first. Counted on the second. So the Lady Flames have doubled up the Pilots. Done that once or twice already in this game. Good steal there by Abby Walker. Getting it back in the low post. Double teamed. Harms will get the jump ball, and the Flames have the possession arrow. Keeping it out on the perimeter. Schwartz went for the steal, might be made to pay around the world and out. And then a foul will go against the Lady Flames. No foul up on the board, though, so I guess they say that somebody stepped on the line. Nevertheless, the Pilots come up with it. This time the foul definitely is on the Lady Flames, as Melvin will take a seat after picking up her third. That one rings out. Pilots have gotten some decent looks, and Smith called for carrying it. It was an odd series of events as Joanne Schwartz almost blew out an angle there. Long three-point shot, no good from Weeb. Weeb going for the own rebound, as taking a spiel was Alberti. Inside to Harms, and she gets the harm. Going to line for two. 3:30 left to go here, third quarter. Consolation bracket. A spot in the fifth place game up for grabs. Ryan back into the game for Alberti. And then Ryan pulls down the board. 34-18 with 3:25 left. Driving to the hoop, and it won't fall for Ryan. And a foul, I believe, goes against Madison Walker. That is her third. Far side for Schwartz. Near side Weeb. Up top. Now inside. Harms looking for some space, but they had the double team going. Zajac, good pass out. Three-point shot. Won't go. Weeb can't get a bucket to fall. Good steal there by Esther Smith. She's going to take it up, but leaves it short. And again, the Lady Flames called for the foul. This time it's on Claire Ryan. That is her first. So the Pilots still trying to get something going on the offensive end. We've seen a lot of people slip in the last couple possessions for the Pilots, as that one was knocked out of the hands. Braxton gets the steal. Up top to Carter. She goes up, and again, it won't roll. Just won't fall. Weeb almost has her pocket picked, as Smith is just everywhere on the defensive end. Right on Harms as soon as she gets the ball. And then we're going to get a foul. I believe that's going to go against Colleen Carter. .218 left to go here in the third quarter. Harms at the line. Doesn't get to first. Johnson, Nichols, and Palmer all back in for the Lady Flames. 0 for 2 on that trip for Harms. Again, hitting under 50% from the line. Not something you necessarily expect for the team's leading scorer. Pretty decent from 3. Hitting about 1 out of every 3 shots beyond the arc. And then 42.8% from the field, but she just can't seem to get it going from the free throw line. Getting it going on the 3-point shot, though, was Ashton Johnson. Under 2 to go here in the third quarter. Dishing it off to Zajac, and she telegraphed that one. Braxton heading up the court. Johnson is there. Braxton takes it all the way herself. Timeout taken by Coach Joel Corsi. The Providence Pilots, they are searching for an answer here. They haven't been getting the defensive stops that they did in the first half, and their offense has still left something to be desired. Let's take a look at the men's side of the bracket while we have a little bit of time. Hillsdale blew out Crossroads in the semifinal matchup, 101-67. So seeding-wise, they're likely to play Arlington Baptist themselves, which would give us a championship matchup that would be the exact same as the women. But Dallas Christian has plenty to say about that, and that one will tip off at 8:15 tonight. So just about a half hour from now, as we are in the central time zone here. Some of the other matchups that came on today. Welch fell to Emmaus 90-72. So Emmaus gets the 9th place finish. Providence beat Champion 90-60 for the 11th place finish. Ozark beat Trinity 100-84, so they will play for 5th place tomorrow. And as I mentioned, Rama against AFLBS for that other 5th place slot coming up at 8:15 from my location. Again, Providence just can't seem to get them to fall. They're getting decent looks, getting in decent positions. They're not giving up on the game. Joanne Schwartz proving that right there, as she's been all over on the defensive end, doing a good job overall, trying to get some of those loose balls. Schwartz puts up a long one, and too long. Back the other way, Braxton finds Ryan. One dribbling up. Count it. Under a minute to go here in the third. Weeb. Engel was calling for it. And again, another turnover. Pilots just can't seem to find themselves. A little bit road weary, perhaps. I mean, that is a heck of a trip all the way down from Manitoba. And then not even getting to play necessarily a full complement of games. You have a game and then a day off and then another game. Some teams would prefer that, but some teams would rather they just keep the momentum they've built up going. 13 goes against Renata Nyhoff. That is her third of the game. Puts Palmer at the line. Both free throws missed. Three-point ball, no good from Lauren Weeb. Into the hands of Braxton. 13 seconds left in the quarter. Shot clock is off. Long two-pointer is good. Claire Ryan. No good on the heave. So we'll head to the fourth quarter with this one well in hand for Welch. They only had 21 in all of the first half, but now they've got 43. So they doubled it up in one quarter. Fourth quarter action. Welch College against Providence University College. Not sure how that works, but it's their name, and they're sticking to it. Little pop shot there, won't fall for the Lady Flames. Trying to dish it back out into the hands of, I believe that was Palmer. For whatever reason, when these white jerseys with the gold numbers are in movement, they're kind of hard to pick up. When they're standing there, you would think that I'm crazy. Some people say I'm crazy anyway. We'll let that for the doctors to decide. Into the hands of Elizabeth Palmer. Back out for Johnson, but Palmer walked. Johnson privately, except publicly, celebrated that shot. Even though it doesn't count, she still feels good about making it. Harms drops it back to Phantom Jones. 9 minutes left to go in the ball game. Good Branson with a three-pointer. That one won't go. Schwartz looking for the steal. Harms as well. She gets the tie-up, and the Pilots keep the ball. Almost take it away from Harms. Good up and under move, but then put the shot too hard. And again, Schwartz going for that steal. Here's Ryan going to the hoop. No shot. Fouled on the floor. So Melvin, Abby Walker, Carly Alberti, all back into the game. I believe Madison Walker checked back in as well. Ryan, the only one to stay in the game. We'll see if that changes after that pass. Good Branson picks up the dribble, now looking for some help. Harm to Zajac. Got a good look at it and scores. Over to the far wing. Now into Alberti. She hits some opposition. Long two is good. Claire Ryan. Good Branson to Schwartz. Zajac kicks it back out. Good Branson. Top of the key, now far side. Phantom Jones thought about shot. Gets it back after scrambling for it on the ground, and there's a two-pointer. Joanne Schwartz, the freshman. from Glenboro, Manitoba, getting herself officially on the score sheet with some points. 45-22 with 7:30 left to go in the quarter. That much time almost certainly in the game as well, unless Providence mounts a furious comeback. Zajac gets it down in the low block, puts up a little hook shot off of Harms and out. Engel back in for the Pilots. Smith back in for the Lady Flames. Madison Walker from Albany, Georgia, getting it back. In for Alberti, walk. Foul on Alberti. Now it's actually going to be on Smith. Given the reaction, I initially thought it would be on Alberti. Zajac with a little pop shot. .6:45 left to go. Working around the perimeter. Smith thought about a three. Walker to Walker. And now a walk against Smith. You can't say the Pilots haven't played decent defense. They just haven't been able to buy a basket. And on the flip side, Welch College has come alive here in the second half, doubling up their point total in that third quarter. They went into halftime with 21, came out of the third quarter with 43. Far side for Smith, good bounce pass. Now Madison Walker tried the three, that won't fall. Abby Walker was going for the board. They're going to get a foul. I believe it's going to go, well, we'll let them put it on the board before we get anybody's name. Looks like it's Carlia Alberti, the freshman from Chateau, Oklahoma. And she's in foul trouble as she's got her third up on the board. .606 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Clock rolling. Harms to Engel. Pull-up jumper won't go. Rebound for Melvin. Long outlet pass. They find their man in Carter, but she can't get it to roll. For some reason, these layups coming from this right side just seem to roll around and then out. Madison Walker gets it to go, though. 5:35. Left to go in the fourth. And Smith takes a hard spill. He's going to be feeling that one in the morning. 2 points on the board, though, for Providence. Going cross court to Johnson. Pops it back out. Madison Walker gives it to Abby and then back. Now Smith. Melvin goes baseline. Smith with the three. Leaves it short. Carter with the foul. So Carter will go to the line. Zajac picks up her third. Couple more substitutions coming in now for the Welch Lady Flames. So the Lady Flames have a combination of Smith, Madison and Abby Walker, Claire Ryan, and Colleen Carter. Providence will counter with Zajac, Engel, Schwartz, Harm, and Goodbranson. Engel drives in from the corner. Pass was almost stolen away. Harm from 15 feet. Won't take the shot. Goodbranson from even further. Looked to be on line, but just a bit too off to the right. Smith back to Walker. Abby Walker doing a lot of work on the low block, but she's guarded tightly by Zajac. And now Alberti checks back into the game. Carter. 3-ball won't go. Harm tried to cross over and dribbled it right into her opponent. Carter's got 5 players around her and finally realized what was going on and peeled it back out. Smith for Carter. She's going to be worse for wear after that one. It was just a good hustle play by both sides. Carter to Smith. Smith thought about the three-pointer, and cutting in was Ryan. She was expecting to go for the rebound. Back for Goodbranson, and one. Fenton Jones back into the contest, as well as Lauren Wiebe. No good on the shot. And foul on Zajac. That is her fourth. .330 left to go. 49-28 is your score. Down into the low block. Good moves there, but the bucket won't fall for Abby Walker. Smith forced to just pull it out. Corner shot unavailable. Smith again from about 14 feet just dishes off. Deflected pass back over to the corner. Long shot, no good. Ryan going for the steal, trying to make up for a mistake. Goodbranson fouled from behind. Carter a little bit frustrated. Madison Walker back into the game. Takes out Claire Ryan, who picked up her second foul. Smith with it, near side. Madison Walker going inside for Alberti. Cuts through the defense, off the window. Popping it back out. Going baseline, wild shot there from Fenton Jones. Pushing it up. Smith swatted away. Getting a piece of that was Fenton Jones, and now we have another jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Lady Flames. Madison Walker couldn't get that one to go. And we'll have another jump ball, so it'll go the other way. 51-29, 2 minutes left to go in the quarter. And thus the game. 3-point shot just won't fall. Lauren Weeb, again, looking pretty good, but the shots just aren't falling. Into the post for Alberti. Gets that one to go. And the bank is open for three. Fenton Jones. Somebody from the sideline asking if she called it. I didn't hear it. Quick inbounds to Smith. Down to the low block. Long shot won't fall for Alberti. Going the other way, Fenton Jones. Back out to Goodbranson. 3. 57 seconds left to go in the game. 53-35 is the score. Bounce pass for Madison Walker. Alberti dishes back out. And now they settle for the perimeter. Going baseline. Smith puts it on the floor. 8 to shoot. Near side. Long shot from Carter. Coming back in the game is Joanne Schwartz. 30 seconds remain. 56-35. 3-point ball. And where were these shots earlier? Providence getting a little bit hot from 3-point range. Fenton Jones with the 3-point ball. And now a steal. Goodbranson taking it to the hoop. Too strong. Smith with the rebound. Goodbranson right on her, as well as Schwartz. Forcing the error. Smith dribbled out of bounds. And that's just kind of the way this game goes. Basketball is such a game of inches, as are basically all sports. But all it took was a few made shots, and now all of a sudden the Pilots are feeling good about themselves. But there's only 7 seconds left on the clock, and it took a little too long for them to find their shooting touch. It's an 18-point game, and this one is going to end with the Welch Lady Flames going on. So Welch will play in the 5th place game. They will take on AFLBS tomorrow at noon. Inbound into the corner. 3-point ball won't fall for Weeb. And that'll do it. 56 to 38 is your final. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get a copy of this game or any of the games from this year's tournament, go to the website on your screen, especially for those of you watching from Canada. I know that you're not going to make the trip down to Joplin just to get a copy. So go to the website, get a copy of any of the games, men's, women's, what have you, doesn't really matter. For those of you who are going to be here in Joplin at any point, if you want a game, just come up to myself or Chris during halftime of any of the games. Even after the game, although that's a little bit more difficult, sometimes we head off and take care of other business like food and restrooms and whatnot. But you can pay with cash or check. If you're paying in person, online details are obviously available at the website. But that'll wrap it up for me here at this women's matchup. We've got a men's game coming up for you, so I'm going to start preparing for that. So until the next time, have a great night, everyone.